A lot to talk about. I spoke earlier this evening with Republican Congressman and House Foreign Affairs Committee member Adam Kinzinger. So, Congressman, you wrote today, we cannot turn a blind eye to the murder of Khashoggi. Is that what you think the United States is doing?
You know, it's kind of tough. It depends behind the scenes what's happening. What I wish would have happened today, and I think the president ultimately is making the right decision to not fundamentally shift our relationship with Saudi Arabia, because that has very broad implications. But I wish in the statement today, in the two-page press release, about a page and a half of that would have been just focused on how wrong this was, the fact that we believe in the First Amendment, even if it's not in the United States. We believe in journalism and journalistic ideas. And so I was a little disappointed in the statement, but I think the end result is probably the right end result for this issue.
And in his statement, he said the CIA hasn't made a determination yet, but CNN is reporting the CIA has high confidence that the Saudi Crown Prince ordered this assassination. And the president said today, maybe he did, maybe he didn't. Does that not give the Crown Prince cover for basically murder?
Well, I think the Crown Prince is certainly aware that the world is watching now, so I'm not sure about it giving him cover for further murder, but I do think that was actually the line that stood out to me the most, and I think to most people the most, which is he may have, he may not have. The fact is we'll never absolutely know, because that's how intelligence works, short of a confession. But with high confidence, we pretty much know. We know that with pretty much certainty. And so I think that was an unfortunate thing to say. I think it was wrong to say. But again, the end result, I think, is right. But I wish somebody else had written that statement, and that statement would have said something like, we never stand for this kind of brutality, but given the fact that we live in a world where there's a lot of bad actors, sometimes we have to pick the least bad.
Congressman, you keep using the word unfortunate here, but you realize that there is a mountain of difference between what you just said. We never stand for this kind of brutality, and what the president said, which is, maybe he did, maybe he didn't. And they send diametrically opposed messages.
They do. I think they send opposed messages in that the president needs to be more verbal about this stuff. He needs to be more, and not just more verbal, he needs to say anytime something like this happens, it's unacceptable and wrong. By the way, Russia does this. I mean, we know that political opposition and media people have been killed in Moscow.
Congressman,
the president should be more spoken out about that as well.
Should Vladimir Putin look at what happens in Saudi Arabia and be concerned the next time he wants to order the assassination of a journalist or a political opponent? What message should he take from what the president just decided to do in Saudi Arabia?
No, I don't know. I can't speak for what message he's going to take, because I don't think there's ever any doubt that we're going to do anything militarily or whatever against Russia because of what they already do. I think he's taken a very strong message from the United States and this administration and past, which is when it comes to the killing of political opposition, there's not a ton we do.
Was this a good day for the American message of human rights around the world?
No, not a good day for the message of human rights. I think, I think American foreign policy has been strong, but I think the human rights piece hasn't been in messaging. And I think that messaging, when it comes to things like human rights, we can't intervene everywhere where there's a human right issue or where there's a problem, any kind of a civil war. We can't intervene on every one. But what we can do is speak with authority, and I think we missed that opportunity.
Congressman, late today, there was this new report out of the New York Times, Maggie Haberman and Michael Schmidt, that writes that the president wanted the Justice Department to prosecute both Hillary Clinton and former FBI Director James Comey. And we're talking about last spring of 2018, so fairly recently. What's your opinion of that?
Yeah, I haven't read that, so I can't fully react to all the details, because sometimes I hear something on the front and find out a lot more details later. I think if there were laws broken, there needs to be a justice process. But I also don't want to get into the position with this country where past administrations are prosecuted by next administrations, because that's what happens in a lot of third world countries.
Congressman Adam Kinzinger, thanks so much for being with us. Happy Thanksgiving.
You too.